What's up? This is Stephen Bloodworth, and this is my review of 29 Needles, directed by Scott Philip Gurgans, and released by Unearthed Films under their Too Extreme for Mainstream line. Oh boy, it's come to the point where this day would finally come. The day that I would be reviewing 29 Needles. For all fans of Unearthed Films, this has been a big day for us because we have been anticipating the release of 29 Needles for a very long time now. Right about now, everybody should be getting their Blu-rays and DVDs, and if they ordered it, the fingers. Like I did. But now it's time to sit down and review 29 Needles. Now before we get any further, I must give a disclaimer that Unearthed Films' Too Extreme for Mainstream line is pretty much their most extreme releases with explicit gore and sexual violence. So this is pretty much Unearthed Films doing adult horror. Before we get into the review, if you're not already a subscriber, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below and stay tuned for all my latest videos posted every Monday, Friday, and every other Wednesday. We're first introduced to our main character, Francis, who immediately we could tell is one sick individual. The film opens up to a dream sequence where we see Francis and another guy jacking it, but Francis begins to spit up a chain, and the chain just keeps coming out of his mouth, and this is also a reoccurrence throughout the rest of the film. But each time we see this clip of Francis spitting this chain out, the chain gets longer and there is a lot more blood. We don't really see the other fella too much, but it mainly relies on Francis and the chain. We learn a little bit more about Francis. He's interested in hardcore sex, and with that, he is really into pain. Pain gives him pleasure, and he searches for that one thing that will satisfy him. He goes to a bar where a person confronts him about his sexual behavior and asks if he wants to hook up. Assuming that this guy likes what Francis likes, they go back to his place, and Francis realizes that this guy has no idea what he's talking about and shows him what he's really into. Eventually, Francis meets another guy named Hans, and Hans pretty much introduces him to this whole new world of sexual fantasies. He invites Francis to this exclusive sex warehouse where literally anything could happen. This is a place where your wildest dreams can really become true. So Francis starts attending these sex parties, but his drive for more pain only increases each time he goes and when he's in his own house. Now there is a lot more that I could say about the film, but that would be giving too much away, too much practical depictions away, so I'm just gonna leave it there. So now let's get into my overall thoughts on 29 Needles. Wow. 29 Needles was definitely a trip for me. It made me shocked, it made me sick, it made me disgusted. It truly is too extreme for mainstream. The characters are actually pretty good. The guy who played Francis, Brooke Berry, is described by director Scott Philip Gurgans as a brand new actor, and he really kills the role in this film. And the character who plays Hans is also really good and very believable. When it comes to story, there's really not much story besides watching Francis's pleasures kind of reach new levels. There's really not much else going on in the world that we see in this film besides Francis and his sexual drive. And like I said, there is a lot of explicit sexual content in this film, and a lot of it revolving around pain, BDSM, etc. There is one prop used in this film, not the fingers. The fingers, I really did not expect them to be used like that. But one specific prop in this film that I could not believe they actually did. You're just gonna have to see the film to find out for yourselves. The film is not a gore fest, but when it comes to gore, there's some pretty effective blood, but overall, not as much as I would have thought. Overall, this one is a shocking one. It took me by surprise even when I was anticipating something gnarly and extreme. For a rating, I'm definitely going to give 29 Needles a would recommend, especially to anybody who's into this culture of BDSM, but also a would recommend to anybody that wants to test themselves to see how far they can really go while watching an extreme film. So yeah, I recommend it, but of course, mature audiences only, 18 and up. This was a limited ran Blu-ray, as all of Unearthed films, too extreme for mainstream titles, run for a limited pre-order, but I believe GRINDHOUSE Video and DIABOLIKDVD may still have some for sale, so if you want to check this out for yourselves, head on over to either GRINDHOUSE Video or DIABOLIKDVD. I'll put links in the description below. So that's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for coming by and checking out this review. If you're new to my channel, definitely hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for all of my latest videos posted every Monday, Friday, and every other Wednesday. And also make sure to follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, to stay posted on what I'm doing behind the scenes of making these videos. Before you click off this video, don't forget to hit it with a thumbs up, and leave me a comment down below saying if you've seen 29 Needles and what do you think of it. Until next time, take care, and stay scared.